Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today guys, we're going to be diving down into the charts to take a look at Cardano and specifically the price action of ADA. We've seen a recent pump to the upside, but is this a fake out and should we be expecting some more downside action here? So as we get into it, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and you will be kept up to date with all the videos that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't yet joined us on Discord, go ahead and join. It's completely free. Links in the description down below. Fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. I do a lot more technical analysis down in Discord. Chris does a lot more fundamental research, etc. down in Discord as well, so you won't be disappointed by what you find. Also in the description down below, you will find links to our Patreon services if you are looking for more from this crypto space, whether that is exit strategies, research and AMAs and things like that. Then go ahead and check that out as well. Right, with all this said, done and out of the way, let's jump on down into the desktop and take a look at what's been going on here with Cardano. Okay guys, we're going to start things off with the hourly charts because, if we actually just zoom out a little bit, we can see we were tracking this ABC corrective move to the downside. And we have this really definitive move to the downside, right? This A wave, it was pretty much no bounce in the middle. It was pretty much just a downward move. Then we bounced up for a really short B wave and then we started to pull back down, going lower than the A wave low here. Now we were expecting this to go down lower as per my last video on Cardano. So if I just grab this fib tool and we transpose that over, we can get an idea that we were talking about this going down to about 71.5 cents. Now, with that, we want to acknowledge a couple of things, right? If we want to invalidate that, we need to obviously go higher than 88.3, okay? So in order for us to prove that we are not going down to 71.5, we want to see the price move above 88.3 cents. Okay, so I'm going to quickly just remove the fib there so it's not in the way. So now we have our invalidation point. Otherwise, this could just be a B wave bounce before we actually head on down, i.e. we have something like this, A wave, B wave, and then C wave. And if we do measure the distance here of this A wave here, and we were to go ahead and transpose that over to the current B wave high here, that would actually get us to about 75.8. Okay, not quite the entire distance to the bottom there, but close enough that you'll be, within a zone to say that that C wave has come in. Now I'm going to remove this and I'm going to remove the fib because that's more the pessimistic kind of view, right? We, thinking about coming down into this low range, depending on how you want to look at it. If you're looking to accumulate, that could be fantastic. If you're currently just hodling your way through, that might not be the best thing to look at your portfolio during that time. However, we should also acknowledge that the minimum requirement for the C wave has been met here in the fact that it has gone down lower than the A wave, right? So therefore, there's no guarantee that we will go down lower overall. There's no guarantee of that. And we want to be really focusing in on 88.3 to kind of invalidate those low points, right? If we do cross that 88.3 cent range, and there's pretty much a low probability that we're going to, well, I guess the best way of kind of articulating it is that completes this wave count here, okay? We could, of course, still come down lower. That would be under a separate wave count, however. Okay, cool. So we obviously know that we did have this expectation. It's still valid until proven otherwise. And obviously that comes in at 88.3. So what's actually been going on here? Well, obviously, we were tracking down and everything was looking like it was going down, right? Except we started to see some turn of events. We started to see some motion to the upside. And what we can take a look at here is, a move up here. We actually have a double top scenario. And I'll just quickly draw this on so you can see it just here, right? We hit it once, we pull back down, and we hit it again. So there's a couple of ways we can count this up. For the most part, we can go, A, B, C. Hit that and then we look for going down. Now here we can actually see there's an interesting kind of set of waves and it's pretty much tracked across the broad range of cryptocurrencies. They all had a very similar one where we're pulling down but the momentum wasn't quite there and we actually had a really short ABC corrective move and then we triggered an impulsive move. So I'm just going to quickly remove these off and then I'm going to show you what this was. So here we had what was an A wave at the time and a B wave down lower, just looking relatively flat, nothing special about it, except we got this impulsive move upwards, right? And this is a pretty good impulsive break. Then we come down into this fourth wave low, and now we're tracking up into a fifth wave, right? So this is actually a pretty good time for Cardano. You can see that we've lowered that stochastic RSI as well, heading down into the oversold area. So it's possible that we come down a little bit lower here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this horizontal line that was this double top, and I'm going to put it at the top of wave one just here, because wave four should never cross wave 1. Okay, so we know that if we want this valid fifth wave to go higher, or we want to continue to push higher with that fifth wave, then wave 4 cannot cross this line, right? This line comes in at about 82.1. So if Cardano does slip down lower than 82.1, it invalidates the low point, okay? And if we invalidate the low point here, then I would be back to thinking that we are probably going to be slipping down into those lower ranges. Now, obviously, we have to use probability to help us understand what we think is most likely going to happen here. Now, that stochastic RSI being as low as it is, I think is going to start to see this steadily rise up. Now, we should start to see, you know, some interesting kind of break to the upside. And there's a couple of different ways we can count this. This might actually be the wrong place for this third wave. The third wave might be up here. It might be here. I'm going to put it here for now because this is a definitive push down. And this here might actually be the start of an additional kind of impulsive move going higher, right? And that could be an interesting place. So if we actually measure this fourth wave as it stands at the moment, it might go down lower, but we'll measure it there. It kind of shows us that we should kind of hit that range here, actually about 88.2, just short of the 88.3. Okay, obviously we want to break through 88.3 because that's going to be the point of invalidation. So there's that as a scenario there, just coming in shorter than that B wave, which will be very unfortunate if that is the case. So we do want to wick in a wick higher than that, and that'll be enough to kind of invalidate the low points for Cardano. But with the stochastic RSI not quite oversold, it's possible that we do drop down lower. And as we drop down lower, that minimum threshold of the 1.618 goes higher. Okay, so we are looking pretty interesting here with that fifth wave. I'm going to leave it there for now. That's going to be the lower end of the scale. We'll assume that 88.3 is going to be a resistance blocker. It is going to be resistance based on what we've seen previously. So we need to make sure that we have enough momentum to push on through it. Okay, so this is all the short time frame. And if we actually jump up into our 4-hourly and we zoom on out a little bit, we can see, you know, that we just started to consolidate back down around this low bound here, and we are tracking back to the upside. Now, the 4-hourly chart does indicate that it needs corrective action, right? So up there in the overbought area. So once this fifth wave comes in, my expectation is that we would be seeing some kind of ABC corrective action. Now, that price pullback, what we want to do is we want to wipe the stochastic RSI out fast without actually doing too much damage to the price. So obviously the stochastic RSI is all about momentum, sentiment, and what is behind the price movements. So ultimately, you know, what we want to see here is, you know, less selling activity, so that we can lower that stochastic RSI without doing too much damage to the price. Yet to be seen, obviously, so we'll have to monitor the situation. If it is a deeper corrective move and we fail to go past 88.3, again, we'll be looking at this lower range as it does complete that ABC move. Okay, so that's your 4-hourly chart. It's not looking the best right now because obviously it is heavily overbought and we should be looking for corrective moves. Now, the same thing can be said for that 8-hourly chart as well. That is also in the overbought area. So as we start to think about this, this could be a bounce here and this being a B wave bounce, and then we pull back down into that C wave. So one to watch out for. Whether we're going to get the 5 waves or not. So yeah, just pay attention to what is going on with the hourly chart. Look out for those invalidations and make sure that you know, you are aligned to whatever direction the market is indicating that we're going in. The daily chart has corrected nicely here, and actually shows you that bounce much clearer here on the daily, right? So for example, this could be an entire A wave down, this being a B wave, and then we pull down into that lower range as indicated previously, okay? So we want to be open to those ideas, but this lower stochastic RSI is giving us a little bit of confidence here on the daily. And the weekly, guys, you know, it is a heavily oversold stochastic RSI. So we have actually completed, as far as technically speaking goes, you know, we've completed our expanding flat correction here, this complicated 4th wave move, and that means that we should be thinking about progressing up into this 5th wave once the market's kind of aligned to that thinking. So it's not as simple as what we had previously with wave 2. Wave 4 does tend to be a more complicated wave, and here you actually have an expanding flat correction, and we should be looking at progressive moves upwards with that lowered stochastic RSI on the weekly, and obviously the monthly is right there as well. And again, you know, we look at where things were previously on that monthly chart of where they were oversold the way that they have been. Right now, we're in a very similar situation. So this is actually a prime area for growth overall, okay? But there are some corrective moves that have to happen on these smaller timeframes, and we cannot ignore those. So there's definitely some pockets of, I guess, value to be had here for Cardano ahead of any potential move to the upside. So guys, just a gentle reminder that I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot offer you financial advice, but it is important that you do your own research. I give you what I can see inside this data, and it is for you to come up with your own conclusions. Do you think that Cardano is going to be breaking to the upside in a really big way in 2022? Let me know in the comments down below. Guys, if you have found this video useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and you are going to be kept up to date with all of the videos that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't joined us in Discord, links in the description down below, completely free, fantastic community. Why not? I don't think you'll be disappointed. Guys, with all that said, done and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.